James here from JVC Paints. Welcome back to the channel. As promised, I've got a new bolt action project for you all today. This is the Perry Desert Rat Army in 28mm, done up as Punjabi Infantry. This is the second time I've done this army, or an army like it anyways, but this is the first time I've done the Perry version, so it's quite a sizable army, as you can see here. There's lots of stuff going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into smaller bits here, take some photos and talk you through it, the painting, my thoughts on them, and whatnot. So yeah, let's get stuck in. One of the things I really like about the Perry miniatures is that in the box you get a color insert like this that gives you an idea of how to paint up the army. And if you're really unfamiliar with how the unit might be set up, like in this case here, it shows you how to do the box up as a platoon. So I basically followed this. I've done 3 sections of 10, and I've done some extra units at the top there. Here's the first of 3 identical sections in the Army. This is a 10-man unit. We've got the NCO on the right with his submachine gun. We've got the Bren gunner in the center here, and on his right, your left, is the loader. You can see by the extra packs of ammo there. And the other 7 figures are just riflemen in different poses, doing different things, whether they're loading their weapon or firing. On a sprue, I believe there are 8 upright poses, and there are 2 prone poses. But some of the hands and some of the weapons, I should say, arms, only go with certain poses, so it was a bit of a mismatch. On the back here, you can see the packs. Now, the packs and the heads are all both metal. My mate bought the heads, which I believe he got all 39 for the Army for about £10, and the packs are metal as well. I don't know how much they would have cost, but there are plastic packs on the sprue themselves. And there's some head options as well if you did not want to do Punjabis. Now, before I go any further, I've done the Warlord version as well, and you can see here the Warlord figure is on the right and the Perry one is on the left. Now, the bases are different, and the base on the Perry one's a bit higher because my friend asked me to put a small magnet, sort of like a sheet magnet, that fit on the bottom there. And then size-wise, in these photos you can't really tell, but if you look at them, in person, as you can see here, the Warlord one is on the left. He just seems like a much larger man than the Perry one. I think the Perry one is actually true 28, and of course the Warlord one is a heroic scale. Moving on to the second section here, you can see it's identical to the first. Not a lot of dynamic poses with the Perry miniatures, I'm afraid. We do have the one guy in the back there with a grenade, though. All of the figures here, I'd clean them up, and then I would glue them onto the small bases provided by Perry. Put some epoxy around the lip of that base, and then put some sand on it and prime everything brown. So I would do the flesh color, the wood color, and like the canteen covers, the browns first. I would do that. Then I would do the uniform, and then I would do the webbing, and I would do everything, and then I'd give everything a brown wash. Now, for the uniforms themselves, I started with a sable brown, and then I brought it up with more of a lighter brown, like a desert brown. And then same thing with the green, the turbans and the equipment. I did that first in an avocado, then I gave it a shale green, and then everything got a brown wash. When the brown wash was done, that's when I went in and I redid all the highlights, and then I did the black last. So the black would be blacking out parts of the weapons, the boots, the beards, the eyeballs, and things like that. And then with the gunmetal, a little bit of gunmetal here and there, just to catch the eye. And I also did the boot laces when I would go back in and do some little detailing. Some of the guys have the teacups on the back there too. And a few guys I think you've seen maybe the head kerchiefs and things like that, just to sort of break the monotony of painting the same figures sort of over and over and over again. This is the third section here. You can see 2 of the prone figures that come with the set. We've got the Bren gunner, we've got the loader there helping him out. But basically, yeah, same sections over and over again. 1 Tommy gun basically per section, and then you get the 7 rifles, the Brenner, and his buddy there. Moving on to some more of the speciality figures in the group here, we've got the artillery observer and his radio man here. You probably only get 1 sprue, and it's a smaller 2-man sprue in the box, but my friend, he happened to have 2 boxes, so I got 2 of these sprues. So, yeah, I just endeavored to do up the radio here and the officer as well. I made them English as opposed to Punjabi, because, first of all, there were not enough Punjabi heads, and also I thought, well, if you were calling in an artillery strike, you want to make sure the guy who's calling it in is easily understood on the other line there in HQ. Here's the lieutenant proper and his 4-man section. Again, we have the similar poses with the artillery observer. I've decided to just have his Wembley out, his pistol. Yeah, this one has 2 Thompson submachine guns, but yeah, I just, with the new rolls for bolt action, I know you can add on to these sections, so I thought it would be a good idea to all the extra guys. I just put them there. and my mate, he can figure it out when it's time to play. Here are two more prone figures as the light mortar crew. Perry provides these square bases, so you get a bunch of them in the box. So for your weapons teams, and you got the ammo case there in the front. As you can see, the bases work here is very simple, very uninspired. I tried to keep it simple. I didn't want to mess it up and put a whole bunch of different vegetation on there. I thought simple was good. Here's another two-man weapons team. This is the Boyce anti-tank rifle, yeah, there were specific heads for the prone fire guys, which I used on these figures. Yeah, again, just simple basing, kept up the painting theme, and these guys actually did fit on the base very easily. I was very happy because I'd had some problems with them before. Well, bit of an Easter egg here. Size comparison photo out of order. Here's the Vickers team. This is a metal team that did not come in the box, but they are on that square base that did come with the box. Yeah, there's actually a fourth guy. One of the four guys, he ended up in the lieutenant's mob of guys there. Pretty easy to put together. The one thing here, as you can see, I've had to make a little sandbag to put this guy on to make sure that he lined up for firing correctly. Here's the last weapon team. It is a medium mortar. We've got 4 men here. The man in the back there, standing upright with the binoculars, is the spotter. 2 guys with shells, and 1 guy on his knee there with his right arm extended. He would be operating the mortar itself. Put the mortar on a 25mm base just for sake of ease and the sake of transport, I guess. As you can see here on the obverse, I tried to do the optical sight there. I did a little bit of blue, something that I'm not very good at, but I thought it was worth a try. Next up, we have the vehicles here. We've got 3 Bren carriers here. They are resin. I believe they're from Perry. They could be from Warlord. I'm not sure. I received them. They were primed brown. I airbrushed them dark yellow, and then I used the Tamiya weathering powder to bring them up. I did endeavor to do the details on them, but I have to be honest with you, with the crew, the pintle mounts, and the bow Brens there, they are not fun to put together. There's a lot of touch-up work to be done on these for sure. Just a bit tricky and a bit, patience eroding, if I may say. You can see the one there in the center, though. I've got a Union Jack that I made out of gum foil. I just painted it up one night when I was watching YouTube, I guess. And I just thought, okay, well, if he wants to make like a command vehicle, a little bit of a better view here. If he wants to make a command vehicle of some sort, this would be the one, I guess. But yeah, very expensive miniatures, vehicles, I should say. And they're not, honestly, to me, my own 2 cents, they're not worth the money. Here's a size comparison of the resin Bren carrier in a 1/48 Tamiya scale plastic one on the left. Yeah, as you can see, the difference in the vehicle scales is a lot more apparent than it is in the figures. But just for the sake of clarity, I've decided to put them all in the same photo so you can take a look and see for yourself. Next up, we have the Indian pattern carrier. This is definitely a Perry kit. Again, it's resin with some metal components. The driver and the gunner there guy, they are both metal as the weapons there. Yeah, the weapons don't really have any pins or anything to hold them into place, and I think that's one of the reasons I found them so tricky to get them to stay in place so they wouldn't keep falling off or breaking or bending. But an interesting model nonetheless. This is the first time I've ever painted one of these, and I thought it was kind of cool. I really like the tires on them. Wrapping up the vehicles, we have the tank. I believe it's a Matilda. This was probably the easiest one to do. Not a lot of different parts and things on it, just the turret and the body. Not a lot of details on it either. There was a few tools here and there. It's in the desert, so you can't really rust it up and things like that, so you gotta just sort of keep it simple. So I was kind of getting antsy, so I did do the headlights like that, like I did on the vehicles and some of the optical sights and binoculars and things like that, just to give it a splash of color. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the Army, guys. I really appreciate if you leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. It's a good way to interact with the people out there watching. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching again, and keep those brushes moving, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.